Happy Monday. Hope you're having a glorious Monday. It's a nice sunny day. I forget to check the temperature of my car, but it's nice outside here in Austin, Texas. I'm no longer complaining about summer weather or summer temperatures. But I saw this headline when I was at work, and that was very interesting. I wanted to read it. It's a very bold move, to be honest. What am I talking about? This is the New York Post, September the 18th, 2023 news. Former Yale student acquitted of rape in 2018 has been cleared to sue his accuser. About time we hold these lying hoes accountable. Let's see here. The former Yale student who was acquitted of rape in 2018 but later ousted from the Ivy League institution, can sue his accuser for defamation over statements she made during a school hearing in Connecticut Supreme Court ruled this summer. Stapolaha Khan, 30, has a 110 million defamation lawsuit pending against the Ivy League institution since 2019. Khan has been fighting to bring his accuser, a fellow student, into the suit over the 2018 university hearing that eventually resulted in his expulsion. Connecticut High Court granted Khan's request in June. The court ruled that the accuser shouldn't have received qualified immunity from her school testimony that Khan raped her following a Halloween party in 2015. Qualified immunity protects people from being sued for statements they make in the judicial cases or quasi-judicial cases. I mean, there's some part of quality immunity that I support, and there's some part of quality immunity I don't support. Now, if you go take a stand and you lie about someone, that should not be qualified immunity. Same as a cop. If a cop just goes and pulls his gun out and shoots a random person, he's not doing that on behalf of the state. He's doing that on behalf of himself, and that should be granted qualified immunity. But the High Court says the university hearing wasn't a stand-in court proceeding, and since Khan wasn't given the opportunity to cross-examine the accuser, for absolute immunity to apply under Connecticut law in June, the decision fundamental fairness required meaningful cross-examination in proceedings like the one is at issue. Also, the fact that he wasn't able to cross-examine takes away the qualified immunity. That's an interesting concept. During the hearing, Khan's team listened to the woman's testimony from a separate room and never got the opportunity to question her. The court ruling said that this left his defense attorney to act as a potted plant. The court also said that Yale hearing couldn't be considered quasi-judicial because it didn't make the woman testify under oath and did not provide Khan's side with the transcripts of the testimony. Khan's a native Afghanistan, started attending the school on a full scholarship in 2012 and major in neuroscience. You kiss that goodbye. His education was completely derailed after the rape allegations in which the 21-year-old accomplice claimed that he took advantage of her when she was extremely drunk following an off-campus Halloween costume party. At the trial, Khan's lawyer argued that the encounter was consensual. Khan was suspended from class amid the allegations, returned to school after his 2018 acquittal, despite widespread opposition of his return, including a petition with 78,000 signatures. He was ultimately kicked out of the school in 2019. Damage is already done. He was found not guilty in a real court of law, but yet his reputation is damaged to the point where no one wants to associate with him, even though he was found not guilty. And that's the issue with a lot of these cases. I understand that there's some rumblings about Russell Brand. They're kind of dogpiling him. Now that happened a decade ago. But once those accusations are made, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, as they were say. Sarah Khan's lawyer, Norm Pettis, says, "We're delighted and look forward to the trial." The accuser lawyer didn't immediately return the request for the comment Sunday with post wires. Is this an aggregated one? It doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, this was by Patricia Del Gregory, or yeah, D. Gregory. I mean, oh, there's no comments. Probably because it deals with a sensitive topic, which I understand. But that's the issue is once you're accused of something terrible, regardless if you're innocent or guilty, the accusations, the trial, the fact that you were even accused and arrested in the first place is a punishment in itself. And you'll always have this stigma attached to you saying, you're that person from Afghanistan that raped a 21-year-old while she was drunk or took advantage. And it seems like there were alcohol involved. It may appear to be consensual, but there's an argument like if you're drunk, you can't consent. So that's kind of where it muddies the water. But maybe they were both drinking and they were both drunk. And he read the tea leaves wrong, or maybe she regretted it. Maybe his actions were like, we bang and that was it. I don't want nothing to do with you. And she felt that regret, what I call regret rape. Whereas rape after the fact is you regret doing it. But even though I don't think regret rape is a thing, as in it shouldn't have any legal precedence. But yeah, this person's, I mean, he's 30, so still in college. Maybe he could get a job. Maybe he can't do the job he wants anymore, which is terrible. I mean, there's never an outlet for the victims of falsehood when these accusations get lobbied. There's no recourse. You're found acquitted. You're found not guilty. But the genie's already out of the bottle. And maybe this is something that most victims need to go through, is actually suing the accuser to say that you just can't falsely accuse someone. There's going to be consequences to that action. Some people say that if someone falsely accuses someone of this nature, they should receive the same punishment as if he were to be found guilty. I don't know how I feel about that, because that may persuade actual victims to not come forward, because if they're found not guilty because there's not enough evidence, then they could turn around and sue them. Because, I mean, this really is a touchy subject. Because I'm going to sidetrack. I'm going to go on a little side rant. Is when people falsely accuse someone of something as terrible as rape, falsely accuse them, knowing that they're falsely accusing them, that takes agencies away from real victims. There's actual real victims of this terrible crime. And when you muddy the water into these false accusations, you're taking resources away from the actual victims, because they could have like a social worker or a therapist on hand to go through such traumatic event. And also, you got people like me that spouts nonsense online. It muddies the water for me, because you got hashtag believe all women, but yet when they come forward that they are falsely accusing them of it, get them expelled from their school or workplace, tarnish their reputation, there's got to be some recourse, because that actually takes away from the real victims, because there's actually real victims of this. And you got men that go their own way, saying this is evidence, more evidence that the world is against us. And it reinforces their idea that women are evil, which I don't really subscribe to that. I mean, there's certain aspects of that lifestyle that's appealing. But when you dig down to the surface. It's not that really appealing once you see how far they go crazy, but that's another topic. But hopefully this is the new norm. If you're falsely accused of an action and it gets you kicked out of your school of choice, it gets your reputation tarnished, then there has to be some recourse against the accuser. With that being said, that is my video for today. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. With that being said, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.